Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 89 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit and crochet, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, November 27th, 2021, and we're just finishing up the end of the Thanksgiving break here in my part of the world. So it's a gorgeous day out today. It's cold. We're definitely into late fall, early winter temperatures. It's only 36 Fahrenheit right now. But it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day out today. Beautiful blue skies, a few little puffy white clouds here and there. Gorgeous. Love this time of year. Love this kind of weather. So I have had a really productive week craft-wise. One other thing I'll mention first, on a Black Friday sale, I bought myself a new camera, and I'm filming on it the first time today. So if I'm not looking at the right place, or if the focus is wonky, or any other number of things, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be looking up. I don't know. I'll find out after I finish filming this if I've been looking at the right place or not. If I'm staring off into space someplace, or if I'm actually making eye contact with the camera. I don't know. I will learn. There's also a possibility that I will have to redo this and do the entire thing a second time if I really mess this up, or if it just doesn't work out very well. We shall see. But it's a Canon PowerShot, what is it? Where's my glasses? Again, read what it says on the bottom of the camera. SX740HS. That's what it is, and we shall see. I only picked it up yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to really play around with it a lot. And this is my first experiment trying to do a videotape. I think I just might have dated myself talking about videotapes. This is the first time I've tried doing a video of myself on this camera. So we shall see whether this works out well or whether this was a disaster. We shall see. Hopefully it turns out okay and I don't have to refilm the entire thing. But it is what it is. Sipping a cup of tea today. Oh, yummy. That's nice. Now that Thanksgiving's done, we're heading into the Christmas holiday season. Pulled out my holiday blend tea. So this is a really yummy flavored tea. I really like this one. It has some cinnamon, citrus flavors to it. It's a black tea. It's really yummy, and I really like it. So on to the knitting and crochet. So since I've been doing, I don't know if everyone's been following my Whip It Down week, the Thanksgiving 2021 edition, but I have been focusing exclusively on a specific project every day all through the Thanksgiving break. I've been off work for a week. We go back to campus. I'll be back on campus on Monday morning, and I have to get back. I've got a few things I have to get done and organized and ready for classes on Monday. I need to make sure I have that all set and ready to go on Sunday afternoon. But other than that, I've been able to take a nice break from work, and I've been able to spend a lot of time focusing on all of my whips. Granted, I only have 4 whips, so I don't have an excessive number. For myself personally, I prefer to have a small number of whips. I find that if I have too many, I just don't focus on all of them. I will focus on one or two of them almost exclusively, and the rest will be pushed aside, and I just don't work on them, and I just don't give them the love they deserve. So in the past week and a bit, I have shown love to everything. Everybody has seen some love. All of my whips have seen love in the last week. So let's go through all 4 of them, and I'll show you how much I've done on each of them. Like I say, if you've been following my Whip It Down little videos all week, you'll see what I've done from day to day, but I'll show you my progress I've made on each of them in the last week since I saw you last on a podcast. So my first one is my Shawlography. And this is a pattern by Stephen West. It was a mystery knit along that began on the 8th of October. I am so far behind. I'm so far behind. Granted, I was almost 2 weeks late starting because I had just had surgery on my left hand 2 days before the pattern came out. So I just wasn't knitting until about 2 weeks had passed before I got the stitches out and was comfortable enough to pick up the knitting needles again. So I was off to a late start, and I was behind right from the get-go. That's fine. I'm loving the pattern, and I have finally, earlier this morning, I have finished clue number 2. So you can see the first several clues here, or the first 2 clues, each of the sections, and the end of clue number 2 included these 2 little bit stripy, well, not little bit stripy, they are striped wedges. Mine, the colors are not too contrasty so that you don't really see a huge contrast between the stripes, but that's fine. And since I saw you last week, I have finished the second wedge. And when I saw you last week, where that little orange marker is, whoopsie, here, I had done this first part of the second wedge last week. I was up to this point, and since then I have finished this second wedge, and that puts me at, I don't know if I want to say it's 50% done, but clue number 2 is done. Oh my goodness, that took me forever to finish clue number 2. It really did. Clue number 2, I just think it was a lot of work. It included this section here, these little bumpy ridges. It included these little triangle sections. It included all of these little bobbles and the 2 wedge sections. So there was a lot of knitting in the second clue. Now I'm ready to get going on clue number 3, which is going to include either a 2-color brioche section or a mesh section. I have not decided 100% which one I'm going to do, but I'm very much leaning towards doing the brioche section, or doing that section in brioche. I enjoy brioche. I haven't done a lot of it, but it's a technique I like, and I love the look of it. So I am leaning towards doing the brioche, but I will decide soon. So that's it for my Shawlography. I'm not sure if I will get clue number 3 started in the next couple days, or if I'm going to put this on hold for a little bit. I'll talk more about that once I get to the end of showing you all of my whips that I've worked on this week. So the second whip that I have been able to spend a fair bit of time on in the last week is my Sorta Shortie Halloween socks. And this was using a yarn I dyed myself. It's just the bear with orange and purple splotches, for lack of a better way of describing the colors. So, and this is, I'm not using a specific pattern for this. It's just a basic vanilla type pattern. I'm just following a basic vanilla recipe. I cast on 64 stitches, top down, and I did a 2x2 rib down the leg. And again, I like the legs of my socks to be a little bit on the shorter side. Then I just did a slip stitch, heel flap, heel turn, gusset decreases, and then I continued with the 2x2 ribbing down the top of the foot and stockinette on the bottom. And then I just do a basic wedge toe. And since I last showed you these, I finished the first sock and started the second sock. So you can see from, oh, this marker's not too visible, but I was at about this point on the first sock when I last saw you, or when I last showed you these. So I finished the foot and got a little bit of a start on the second sock. So I'm about halfway done, or about a third of the way down the leg on the second sock now. So I suspect that these ones might be put on the back burner for a little bit now. A couple of my other projects, I'm more anxious to get those finished than I am my Halloween socks, since we're at the end of November and I've kind of missed Halloween with getting these ready. So they will probably go on the back burner for a while, but I'm happy with the progress I made on them during my Whip It Down week. So that's good. Let's put those down there. The third project that I worked on a fair bit the past week is my Sunday cardigan. Now the Sunday cardigan is a pattern by PetiteKnit, and I made decent progress on this. This I'm using fingering weight bear yarn and a little bit heavier weight mohair. It's Katia Ingenua is the mohair that I'm using, and the bear yarn is just a bear fingering weight yarn. So I'm using a combination of those. The pattern does call for using two yarns held together. I like the contrasty marled kind of effect of using the cream and the blue. Myself, I like the look. And I've made good progress on this. Whoops, I'm bonking the tripod. So the collar gets to be folded down afterwards. And I still haven't got to the sleeves yet. But this past week, I have managed to add a goodly bit to it. Now, I have the markers set. The pink marker is showing me the transition from under the arm downwards, and that's my point for measuring the length of the body before it's time to do the ribbing. And when I saw you last, I was at this first green marker. The other points are showing you what I've done over 3 days of working on this for my my Whip It Down week. I'm now at about, I think I'm around 11 to 12 inches down the body. So I still need to try it on and kind of give it a measure to see if I've gone far enough down the body before it's time to start adding on the ribbing at the bottom. So we shall see. I think I want to add another couple inches to the body. The ribbing at the bottom is about 4 inches. And that's I'm just hoping that's not going to come tumbling down. If it does, it does. So I don't want the sweater to be too short. I like a sweater to come down well down my hips and cover part of my backside. So the pattern has you go about a little over 10 inches. It's 26 centimeters, which is a little over 10 inches. And I'm thinking I want a few more inches beyond that. So as I said before, or earlier, I'm at about 11 to 12 inches now. So we shall see what another inch or two longer, how that makes it look, or how that measures out, and we'll see if I'm ready to start the ribbing. I would really like to get the body portion of the sweater done in the next several days. We shall see. But I'm also really anxious to get going on doing more work on Shawlography and to get into clue number 3. I've played around with clue number 2 for so long, I'm anxious to move on to the next clue. But my final whip that I've got a lot done on in the past week is my Wren sideways shawl. Now this is a crochet project. It's a pattern by Clare M, and this is a scarf. It's a wide scarf. They call it a shawl, but it's more of a wide scarf. And I'm making really good progress on this. I'm using, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, and it's a worsted weight acrylic, and it's in the color Royal. And I wanted to use a no thinking required type of yarn because it's a gift I'm making for a young lady at our church. Well, she's in her early teens and she's just going through a rough patch right now, and I wanted to make her this scarf, shawl, this wrap so that she can wear it. And I don't want her parents to have to worry about how to take care of it. I just want them to be able to throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer, and be good to go. So that's why I opted for the acrylic. And since I saw you last week, I have got a good amount done. Actually, when I saw you last week, this is all I had done up to this first marker. So I had not much at all done. The first day I worked on this with my Whip It Down, I went from this first yellow marker to the second yellow marker. And then the next day that I worked on this during my Whip It Down week, I added from this second yellow marker to here. So overall I've got a lot done on this, and I'm really liking the way it looks. It's nice and squishy. It's going to be nice and warm. I'm gonna really like it when it's done. And it is quite wide. It's not a skinny scarf at all. You can see here where I finished off the first skein, and I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to get it to a good length using only 2 skeins and not having to break into the third. So we shall see once I get close to being finished with the second skein. We'll see how long it is. The pattern suggests going 65 inches. Right now I am at, I think I measured it when I changed skeins and I was at 33 inches. So it might be long enough. And if we look at the halfway mark on top of my shoulder, it's fairly long. So, and this girl is about my height. So she's about I'm 5'6". So she's probably about 5'5". She's almost my height. So I'm thinking that a scarf that is 65, 66 inches long is going to be just right for her. So I'm kind of hoping that the 2 skeins will be just enough to finish the scarf, but we shall see. So that's my knitting content and crochet. I've made really good progress on all 4. I'm really happy with my progress on all 4 of my whips over this past week. I do have the rest of today and Sunday where I have time to spend more time on each of my whips. I think I spent 3 days on each project, and Shawlography I've spent 2 days. So I think what I might do is I might spend the rest of the day working on Shawlography, and then Sunday I'm going to go back to the Wren shawl. And I really would like to get the Wren shawl done because I would like to make sure I get that finished so I can give it to this girl before Christmas. I really am hoping to get it to her for a Christmas gift. So that one probably is my highest priority one for getting finished, but I'm also anxious to get the sweater and the other shawl done. And I'm also going to be out of commission in a couple days. So you know that I had surgery on my left hand beginning of October, and I'm scheduled to have surgery on my right thumb, on Wednesday the 1st of December. So I went in for a COVID test yesterday on Black Friday, and the test results came back and I was negative. Thank goodness. When I went for this surgery, I tested positive. My surgery is postponed for several weeks. I think it was over 3 weeks before I was able to get in for surgery. So I really did not want to have my thumb surgery canceled. I wanted to get it done before Christmas, while I was still in the same calendar year, so that I was still falling under the 2021 deductible. So I really wanted to get it done now, as opposed to not getting it done till January, and then we're just getting started in the new semester, and I didn't want to have to deal with that come January. So I'm very thankful that everything is set, ready to go on the 1st of December. So on Wednesday, I will find out on Monday. They will call me from the surgical center to let me know the exact time I need to arrive at the surgical center and what time my surgery is scheduled for. I suspect it'll be first thing in the morning. For my left index finger, I had to be at the surgical center at 6:30 in the morning. And the surgery, I think, started at 7 or 7:30. I was the first one on the list for my surgeon for that surgery. So I'm hoping for the same thing this time. I don't mind getting up early, and I know that if we get there and if I'm the first one on the list, then it'll get done. I won't have as long a wait, and things won't be delayed, all that stuff. And also by getting it done earlier, once the surgery is done, we can go out for breakfast because I will be hungry. I'm not able to eat or drink anything after midnight the night before, so by the time I'm finished with the surgery, I'm gonna be hungry. I'm gonna be ready for breakfast. So it's gonna be tricky to eat because I'm only gonna be able to use my left hand, but that's fine. So once I have the surgery on the 1st, I get the stitches out on December 14th. So a day shy of 2 weeks after the surgery. So the same thing I had with my left hand, I will have the heavier bandaging on for the first 5 days, and then I'll still have the stitches and bandaging on for the remaining week and a little bit before I get the stitches out, which will make it very hard to try knitting. And especially where it's my thumb, where I'll be doing more holding the knitting needles with my thumb, as opposed to this finger where I just use this finger for tensioning. I'm not sure when I'll be able to start knitting again. I'm hoping I can start up again relatively quickly, and once the stitches are out, I'm most likely going to get started. Crocheting I won't be able to do as easily, as quickly, because of the way I move my hand and use my thumb for crochet versus how I hold my knitting needles. So I really would like to get the Wren sideways shawl done before I go for surgery, because otherwise I think it's going to be a good maybe a week after I get the stitches out before I can get to it. So I really would like to have that finished before Wednesday morning, which means Sunday cardigan and Shawlography and the Halloween socks are probably going to get put to the wayside. I think so. Unless I get the scarf finished quicker, then I can switch back to one of those. So I'm not even quite sure. I'm trying to decide whether I should get going on Shawlography today or get going on the Wren's sideways shawl. Decisions. So that's the dilemma, trying to decide what to work on and strategizing just where to put my crafting energy into so that I make sure I'm optimizing my time before I go in for hand surgery. I think I'm going to switch over and just continue working on the Wren sideways shawl and try to get that done before I go in for surgery. And then once I've had my surgery, then I'll be able to get back onto Shawlography and the Sunday cardigan at that point. Hopefully I'll be able to finish the Wren shawl before Wednesday morning, and then I'll be able to work on the other guys. We shall see. I will be posting a video next week. I'll also be posting a few more of my Whip It Down Week little quick videos over the next few days. But I will be posting a video. I probably should be able to film it next Saturday, and I'll be able to show you what progress I've made on any of my whips between now and when I go in for surgery. So I'll either film that Friday or Saturday, and at least then I'll be able to show you what I have done. The following Saturday I probably will not post anything because I will not have been doing any knitting or any crafting, particularly because the surgery's on my right hand and I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be even more messed up. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to be even more unable to do things. It wasn't as bad the last surgery where my left hand was useless, but I was able to do a lot of things with my right hand. Now in this case, my right hand's going to be out, so there's going to be a lot of things that it's going to be a lot more difficult to do with only my left hand, because I'm not a left-handed person. And I'm not ambidextrous by any stretch of the imagination. So we shall see what I actually managed to get accomplished. I might have a video coming up on what will that be, the 11th of December? I might have something that week, but I highly doubt it. I think I will probably just take the week off podcasting while I haven't had a chance to do any work on anything. Unless I can do something with my books or my yarn, just my stash. But even that's iffy, trying to do it with only my left hand. We shall see. Either which way, I do plan on having a video posted next weekend to show you what I do manage to do over the next 3.5 days. So on that note, I shall let you go, and hopefully this video turns out okay. Hopefully it's everything focused properly. Hopefully I haven't been staring up above your head the whole time. We shall see. I honestly am not sure where exactly I should be looking and focusing my eyes. So if I have been looking in the wrong place and it looks like I'm staring over top of you the entire time, I apologize. I'll do better next time. I just need to learn how to play around with this new camera. But hopefully it worked out okay, and hopefully I won't have to refilm this. I'm getting a tickle in my throat. It's gonna be tricky if I have to do this video over again. So I'm gonna go and see how the editing works, and I will see you guys again in a week, and I'll be all gimpy and bandaged up next time I see ya. Alrighty, take care, and I will see you guys in a week. Bye.